Well, what have we just witnessed? We could have witnessed a very grandstand finish to a test match, but unfortunately, bad light has actually ended up costing New Zealand when they at one point look very likely to be sealing a test match, a very unlikely test match victory against Pakistan.
I mean, you have to first give credit to Babar Azam.
Yeah, you can take some credit away from him also, but I'll come to that in just a bit.
In a very balanced way. Because look, for the first 4 days, you were just playing turgidly on a dull road of a wicket.
It was a match that had draw written all over it, let's be frank.
But towards the fag end, New Zealand kind of got themselves in the game. And remember, today was the day when New Zealand could have pressed the accelerator even more for two reasons. Number one, Ish Sodhi was the star with 6 wickets today. And at one point in time, he had blown the game open.
Exactly.
Because before the tea break, Imamul Haq, he was batting well on 96, absolutely suffered a brain explosion. He was stumped, and that is why Pakistan are wondering whether we could save this test match.
Correct.
But Saud Shakil, remember, Saud Shakil averages 54 in his test career at this point in time. Maybe it was because of the Pakistan batting composition, also because Nauman Ali was promoted as a night watchman. He had to come lower down the order. His partnership ate up crucial time. And suddenly with 14 overs to go, Babar Azam decided, okay, let us declare.
See, and in that sense, brave decision, because again, this test match was, as I said, for the first 4 days and until I think Saud Shakil's partnership, I don't think this match was going anywhere. In fact, at that point, it looked like New Zealand might have been favourites. But then, my big question when it comes to Babar's declaration, sporting as it was that it left his team no chance to win. It was either a draw or a New Zealand, win that was on the cards.
I would like to say one thing about Babar Azam's declaration here, okay? He was perhaps spooked by history. I'll come to that historical part later. Firstly, last day, if you have to look at Pakistan in 2022, in a nutshell, last day of the Lahore test against Australia, crumbled while chasing 350, lost that match and the series. Classic case against England, Rawalpindi. Last day, what happened? They couldn't bear out, and it was a road of a wicket again in Rawalpindi.
Rawalpindi was worse than this, remember?
But England's bowlers, with their discipline, James Anderson at his absolute best, ensured that Pakistan were bundled out. Jack Leach, just 10 minutes to go. With the sun already set, he had gotten the ball to straighten, and that's it. Pakistan were bundled out. Multan, Karachi, the same thing. And it is to Karachi where I will come to that history. Okay. This was the short history that we had.
No, the long history.
The long history is in 2000. England versus Pakistan at the same venue, National Stadium, Karachi. Okay. England had only one session to chase down 175, which was in 40 plus overs, 1.5 sessions.
And remember, this is pre-baseball cricket. That was actually a significant target.
Absolutely. And remember, until that point in time, Pakistan had not lost in their sentinel of Karachi. Now, what happened in that? It was pitch darkness. The Pakistani fielders and bowlers had all resorted to time-wasting tactics. But England, Graham Thorpe, Nasir Hussain, Graham Hick, everybody chipped in, and the Maghrib Azan was also being sounded out. You could even see the moon. Towards that fag end, Graham Thorpe got an inside edge of Saqlain Mushtaq, and England sealed a very famous win in that. We were almost going by that same thing, because 14 overs, they needed 138. You need to go pass ball. But I think Pakistan also did a bit of time wasting at the end of the day, because look, that 5-run penalty, it ate up crucial time. Field adjustments ate up crucial time. You can't fault Babar Azam for that. But then I think his declaration, I will take my words back, was not sporting at all. He just responded to the knee-jerk criticism that was there of his captaincy earlier, and because he fell to a very bad shot today.
And yet again, it continues, I think, a perceived slight of his that he only tends to score runs in the first innings. Second inning wars continue.
And remember, the images that you see when you are seeing the TV is elevated by the electronic advancements of the camera.
Exactly. If you can actually adjust
If you go to the ground with the naked eye, it will be darkness. That's what happened in that Karachi test of 2000. You could see only blurry, very hazy images of the England team. But at the ground, it was pitch darkness. So, don't be fooled by the fact that the umpires are maybe not able to, maybe the light meter has gone for a toss.
No.
The situation at the ground could be a lot worse than what you're
Will
seeing on
most
TV.
likely be, because they will adjust the iris for TV viewership. So
Exactly.
you can change the brightness and it will look much brighter to you and clearer to you. On the ground, however, it is much harder to spot a cricket ball. And to be fair, I don't know, for times like these, maybe I always feel like they should just keep a pink ball, slightly used pink ball. Or, I mean, to be fair, they were bowling with a new leather ball anyway. Just chuck in a new pink ball.
The worst part about this is the lack of ICC flexibility in all this. I have been arguing for the past couple of years that if you want to avoid a bad light situation, why don't you play with the pink ball? Because the pink ball has passed the test, twilight or even that it's visible.
Exactly.
And if it is a broadcaster thing, then they have to enhance their technology for handling both pink and white and a red ball, if you have to look at it. And let me tell you one more thing. The fact that we got this much action in Karachi at, it is 5:45 IST, right, at this point in time, 5:50.
Yeah, 6-5 right now.
6:05, which will be 5:35 in Karachi. You would not have had this action if you had it in Multan. Remember,
Correct. It gets darker quicker.
Multan and all the other places up in the north in Punjab and Pakistan, there the light starts to fade by 4 o'clock. And so you would have had a drawn, the moment Babar declared, game over, drawn.
Actually, if you ask me, it does look like the draw, or rather the declaration, was more in the pretext of looking for a sporting result. Because again, 17 overs, is there any way you're getting 10 wickets? No, you're not.
But
not unless for an epic collapse by New Zealand, which is not happening.
If you had to play baseball like, or even punt
then
play,
maybe.
But then I think even New Zealand erred in one way. Instead of Michael Bracewell,
they could
have gotten Daryl Mitchell.
Correct.
Mitchell was padded up in the dressing room. Why didn't they send him up the order?
Or if you felt, even if the Solo doesn't get out, retire hurt, do something. Could have done something.
Do something in a way, but yeah, the problem is New Zealand also. They could not break that partnership with Saud Shakil had.
Yeah, that was the key actually, because the way Ish Sodhi was bowling, we all thought, okay, at this point they'll get them out cheap and they'll have at least 30-40 overs, maybe get 100 runs.
Yes.
That's very gettable. But they didn't get that crucial wicket. Saud Shakil, he stayed stuck and actually ensured.
And also credit to Mohammad Wasim Jr. for hanging there with him, because their partnership not only ensured runs were on the board, but also ate up a lot of crucial overs. And remember, 14 to 15 overs, you were at max, if the light had held firm, at max 11 to 12 overs, chasing 138. I think we were already on the back foot. Latham and Conway tried. Latham was the more aggressive.
Latham really tried,
yeah. But I think they erred by not picking Daryl Mitchell to open with.
At that point, you needed to do something different rather than the same thing.
Exactly.
And doing something different doesn't just mean telling your batsman that, look, go out and bat like it's a T20. No, maybe do something different. Throw the Pakistani bowlers off.
Exactly.
Maybe that could have had an impact.
Yeah, so this was a very slow Bunsen burner, which you may say.
Because the first 4.5 days were really just nothing.
It
had draw written all over it.
Yeah, the highlights were primarily Kane Williamson scoring his 5th double 100 and also ensuring that his average against Pakistan was 70. And he's also completed the Asian set, by the way. Centuries in the UAE, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, and now in Pakistan. So apart from South Africa, he has gotten a century in every part of the globe. So kudos to Kane Williamson, first match without captaincy burden. Saudi led the team well, but I think not able to break that partnership between Mohammad Wasim Jr. and Saud Shakil.
That cost New Zealand.
Cost New Zealand.
But I think they can take a lot of confidence going into the next match, because again, if you're going to be playing in the same venue.
Yes.
And they would be pretty familiar with the conditions now. So maybe I don't know. Pakistan as a test side, especially their bowling, just doesn't convince me. There's just no experience whatsoever in that bowling.
And remember, even that slim mathematical chance that you had looked for, that Pakistan 99.9999%, that mathematical chance, it's gone now. Because you had to win 2-0 against New Zealand. So now Pakistan, even by a miracle or Kudrat ka Nizam, is not making it to the World Test Championship final, come what may.
Yeah, their chances are done. New Zealand's chances are done.
New Zealand's chances were done much before this tour.
So it's basically now, in a way, it's actually as good as only down to the Indians and
India, Australia, South Africa.
South Africa will need again a miracle.
They need to win in Sydney to throw the entire WTC table on.
And then they'll need to win, I think, they have 2 tests.
2 tests against the West Indies. And they have to hope that Australia beats India 2-1 or 3-1 at home.
Exactly. So still in with a chance. But if they don't win in Sydney, then
even Sri Lanka.
Right.
Because they have 2 tests against New Zealand. If Sri Lanka wins both, South Africa lose to Australia and Sydney, and India don't win against Australia,
So they're in with a slight chance.
they make it.
Oh wow.
They will pip India because their percentage
percentage
points
will
is
be higher.
53.3, India is 58.
Right.
That is the problem. So
Very interesting. Plenty of, I think the end of the WTC cycle coming with a lot of thrills. And of course, don't forget now Pakistan are out. But I think considering the fact that Test match cricket finally returning to Pakistan, they'd want to do much better in the next Test match.
next
But
year,
New
and
Zealand,
this is the last
Test match
of the year,
Correct.
which has ended in a rather thrilling fashion.
So we'll see you next year now for the next time we have to cover Test matches. But don't forget,
Absolutely.
every single day you can join us over here at Sports Today. We'll be bringing you the latest from the world of sport. For now, thank you all for joining us. Again, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, tap the bell icon, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget to download the SportsTak app. Thank you all,
Thank
and on behalf
you.
of Sid and me, bye bye.
Bye bye.